Hi guys! Hi everybody. I just realized my mic isn't actually working, so let me know if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me okay? Taking off this little lavalier thing. Hi everyone. Happy Sunday. Y'all give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can actually hear my voice. I need a good mic. Is anybody out there like an audio person and want to tell me like what's a good microphone? All right. Hi. You guys, I'm so glad that you're here. This particular live has me so excited. I think the idea of work-life rhythm is something that we all are thirsty for. I know in my own life, we got a lot going on. It's busy, and I just find myself craving that day-to-day cadence of rhythm, right? And in the past, I would call that probably the same thing that you guys would call it. I would call it balance. I was thirsty for balance when I created the first Simplified planner. I was just thirsty for some kind of normalcy where it felt like I was doing well at all the things. So, the first thing I want to lead with today is that yes, you can do all the things. You can. You can absolutely do all the things. You cannot be the best at all the things. You cannot do all the things well. I often tell the story about how grace, not perfection, the phrase came to be, and it was me pacing in circles around my house with my baby on a hip and a laptop on the other hip, and I was like trying to figure out what's for dinner, and I felt like every other woman in the world was doing life well. Every other woman in the world had like heels on and her hair done, and dinner was like in the oven, and work was easy, and the baby was well behaved and didn't have colic, and it was like everything was smooth. And then there was me, and I still feel like that sometimes. But I got into this place where I just felt like, oh my gosh, I just need some balance. I just need some balance in my life. And I need to, I just need to figure out a way to do it. And I think it was one of the many times in my life where I hit a wall and I said, I'm done holding myself to this impossible standard. This standard of this woman who, by the way, like doesn't exist. Like if you're that woman who's doing all that, will you just raise your hand? Because I feel like I could learn from you. But I was done holding myself to this impossible standard of perfection. And to a friend on the phone said, I will hold myself from here on out to a standard of grace, not perfection, which means flexibility, um, routine, rhythm, finding things that work, and just surrounding yourself with grace and giving yourself the grace to start over every day, right? So I'm super excited to dig into this concept because not only is it something I think is so important for us to talk about, it's something I struggle with and crave in my own life. I mean, every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, guys, we have a lot to do. How are we going to get it done? I wanted to lead with a couple. I wanted to start with a couple of things. Um, yeah, first of all, I could talk about this for like 5 hours. So I am going to try to condense this into something compact. So if you have questions on this, if you have anything you want to chat about, I want you to put your questions in the comments. I might miss them. I have the comments scrolling really big behind the camera so I can kind of see them. But I would love for you to put your questions there, put your comments there. Just a heads up, we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this for a 2020 Signature Simplified Planner to one person who comments, and then 4 of our new bee hats that are not sold online. And we would love for you to comment and share, and that's how we're going to choose the winners. One of the people in my life who has influenced me in this area a lot, like she's right up there on my list of like big influencers and like almost like mentors, is Sally Clarkson. If you have not read her books, there is a book that she wrote called The Life-Giving Home, and she's written tons of books. She has 4 grown children. She's written tons of books, but that particular book changed my life. Honestly, changed my life and made me start looking at the way I was managing our home as the expert organizer and professional home keeper, a word that I truly love. How I was managing kind of the day to day of our home, and the environment of our home. She gave me almost permission to make those things important. That sounds so weird to say. but she gave me permission to make those things a priority when I feel like the rest of the world is telling us that they don't matter as much as achievement, like hustle and pushing and doing all the things and staying busy. She gave me permission to say, like, no, these things matter. And they'd always mattered to me because my own mom instilled that in me. But reading Sally's words, just, she has a way of writing that will just rock your socks off. I mean, she's just amazing. And I'm very lucky to have a personal relationship with Sally. She messages me a lot, and she just is the real deal. So go read her book. But I'm going to read you a quote that I screenshot on my phone. This is something that to me kind of explains what work-life rhythm is and how it is different than balance. We are not talking about balance here. Well, I'll address the idea of balance in a minute, but in my honest opinion, it doesn't exist. Balance to me is like the finish line you get to where you're like, I'm good, I got it, I'm here, and like work is good. And you're that girl with the hair and the shoes, right? With the food in the oven. To me, that was what balance was, and it doesn't exist if we're all being honest. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. This is from The Life-Giving Home, Creating a Place of Belonging and Becoming. My parents understood, this is Sally talking about her parents. My parents understood that the world that they made within the walls of our house was what constituted home. So I grew up in spaces framed by art and color, filled with candlelight marked by beauty. I grew up within a rhythm of time made sacred by family devotions in the morning and long conversations in the evening. I grew up with the sense of our daily life as a feast and delight. Daily life as a feast and delight. I love that. A soup and bread dinner by the fire, music lilting in the shadows, and the laughter of my siblings gave me a sense of blessedness, of the blessedness of love, of God's life made tangible in the food and touch and air of our home. It was a fight for my parents. I know that. Every day was a battle to bring order to mess, peace to stressful situations, beauty to the chaos wrought by 4 young children. But that's the reality of incarnation as it invades a fallen world. What my parents, bless them, knew is that to make a home right in the midst of the fallen world is to craft out a space of human flesh and existence in which eternity rises up in time, in which the kingdom comes, in which we may taste and see the goodness of God. I quit. Like that. That's amazing, right? That's what I want. More than balance, right? What I want is to have a home that feels like an escape from the rest of the world. The rest of the world is busy and loud and telling us that hustle is what matters, that we need to be raising valedictorians and star athletes and kids who get scholarships and all of that stuff. And what I have started to wonder in my own life is, what if we backed up from this idea of balance, this idea of having it all together, and we embraced the idea of a good life, not a great life, because good is actually kind of great. You see where I'm going there? What if we embraced the idea of a good life, right? And so I'm going to ask you in a few minutes to share with me in the comments. I told y'all these were going to get interactive. This is the one, okay? So if you're uncomfortable sharing, just know this is a safe space, and we are all here to just be community and support each other. But in a minute, I'm going to ask you, what does the good life look like to you? When will you be able to say, like, I made it. Like, this is it. This is the standard. Like, this is where I wanted to be. And it's a question I've asked myself. And I just love the way that Sally kind of brings that all together and shows us that the day-to-day cadence of our lives, the daily work we do in our homes, the connections we make, the meals we prepare, the things that, like I said yesterday, can feel very surface, are actually so sacred and holy. Like, this is holy work that we do inside our homes, creating rhythms and routines and traditions and rituals. Those are the things that make us feel like we're part of something, right? And y'all, it is hard. It is so hard to push against what actually happens in our crazy days, right? I'm going to read you a little bit. I keep sitting down to like outline these lives and thinking, wait, I already wrote that. It's in this book. This is my book. It comes out in November, When Less Becomes More. But I had to go search and find this particular passage today because I want us to understand what we're pushing against, right? So Sally summed it up with that passage, but I want to talk about what we are pushing against. What does that look like? Well, I'll tell you what it looks like in my life. This is chapter 3, and it's about noise. Less noise, more calm. Perhaps one of the most obvious ways that our lives have become overfull is noise. The noise level at my home at any given time when all 5 of us are home is astounding. I often say that I'm noise sensitive. A lot of noise means I can't hear clearly, think straight, or to be honest, function well. I'm not sure this is even normal, but noise drives me bananas. And I don't mean the kind of noise that happens when kids are playing or when everyone at the dinner table has something to say. I'm talking about the kind of noise and chaos that happens when electronics are buzzing, dinging, chirping. Children are begging for attention, growing ever frustrated because their parents are focused on tasks or work or their phones. A scheduled practice or event is growing ever closer, increasing the tension and the volume of voices and the directions being given. Thoughts are spinning and plans are being made to prepare for an overfull day tomorrow. Expectations set high and patience running low, and someone says they can't find their shoes. And everything unravels. The balloon pops, the last drop of patience has slipped through my fingers, and somebody snaps. Everyone is talking at once. No one is on the same page because everyone is distracted and multitasking, and the downward spiral continues. Imagine this happening in homes all across the world at the same time. This is the worst kind of stress, everyday stress for me. This is what we're pushing against. This happens in my house. You too? It does. So how do we push against that? How do we create rhythm and create routine so that we can push against what the world's trying to put in our house? And that's it. For me, it's the busyness, the constant checking of the phone, the constant, and y'all, it's launch week, and so I'm constantly checking my phone. I've had to tell myself this week to back up, to let God do his work with our business, to let God take control of it, and for us to trust and to remember what matters, and that is what's inside the walls of this house. And so I, along with Sally, unknowingly with her beautiful passage, want to give you permission to institute rhythms at work. Now, we talk a lot about balance, right? We often talk about balance as like the thing we want to achieve. I want to just take that word out and swap in rhythm, okay? Imagine yourself, and I've told this story 100 times, so if you've heard it before, just bear with me. I just think it's such a good example. Imagine yourself on a bike, right? You're not constantly like perfectly upright on the bike without having to shift your weight. You're constantly upright. Imagine like work or whatever responsibilities are over here, and then imagine family stuff is over here. Your sides may look different than mine, but imagine you have 2 different sides, right? We are constantly trying to shift our weight from left to right to keep from face planting, right? So it's a constant, it's a dance. It's a shift back and forth into one side and then into the other. And, some days, launch week, I'm leaning over here because I have to. And then some days, not launch week, I'm leaning over here. But you know what I mean. There'll be seasons and short seasons, weeks, months, days, where you're leaning really hard one way. And then you'll have others where you're leaning hard the other way. And it may look different for you hour by hour. You're going back and forth. Am I making all dizzy yet doing this? But you know what I mean. You're constantly shifting back and forth. And so I want you to think about rhythm, aka not balance, as pushing one way or the other, leaning one way or the other, however you need to keep the good life going, right? Okay. I also want us to think about rhythm as the cadence or the heartbeat of the day-to-day. Life will look different every day. Life throws stuff at us we can't control. But the day-to-day, the cadence, the heartbeat, those punctuation points throughout our lives, dedicating yourself to keeping those going is so important. The rest of life can happen in the in-between, right? But if we keep the rhythm of life going, then that can make a big difference. Now, I'm coming at this as as a woman who is married and has 3 kids and a business. Your life may look completely different than mine. So know that I'm coming at this from a place, talking about children and family and all of that. You might be a single girl. You might be a single mom. You might be married without kids. You might be a mom who's 12 kids left the house and are grown. Wherever you are, just know that these things can apply to you, okay? So as far as the punctuation points go, I think that is step 1, right? When we're establishing these rhythms. Decide what you want the punctuation points of your day to look like. Morning, maybe that's the morning routine, like getting up, having breakfast, doing your thing. Make that one of your punctuation points. You can outline this, like you can write these things down. Morning routine. Then there's, maybe your kids are going off to school or you're going off to work or whatever. Then you have like that afternoon dinner time. Let's say dinner time is another punctuation point, right? And then evening routine, getting everybody in bed. That's another punctuation point. Establishing those punctuation points and saying like, these are going to be the rhythms or the beats in our rhythm that we make happen as much as we can, right? Write those down. Write down whatever those are. Number 2, and this is hard sometimes, delight in it. Delight in your rhythm, okay? Your rhythm may include laundry and cooking and reading that bedtime story for the 500th time when you're all out of energy. It may be hard, but I love the idea of reminding ourselves throughout the day to delight in the rhythm. JJ Heller, do y'all know her? She's a singer. I just thought of this. She posted this necklace, and I think it might be lyrics from a song, but it's a necklace that says, "I get to be the one." And that just occurred to me. I get to be the one. Like, I get to be the one to lovingly direct this cadence, right? Obviously my husband's involved, but like, I get to be the one to do these things. And so I will delight and be glad in it, right? Okay, number 3, build on it. So once you've established, 1 or 2 punctuation points throughout your day, build on it. Add in, a Friday night pizza party. I always give that example because it's one we've just done forever. Add in the Friday night pizza party. Add in, Sunday mornings at church. Whatever those things look like for you, add those in and just begin as it becomes habit, as people in your family start to look forward to it, and it doesn't feel so much like okay, we need to make sure we do this and then this. Add it in and build on it. Okay? So, one thing before I forget, we are going to send out a printable today. Y'all know we've been sending these out every week, or every day this week. This one, hold on, let me turn the camera brightness down. This one is called The Good Life, okay? And it has some questions on it that I'm going to ask you right now. And I think you have to, sorry, my face is like right up in the camera. I think that you have to identify what it is you're after before you sit down and do this. It's just like with your Simplified planner. You have to decide what you want the next 12 months of your life to look like before you start putting dates in your planner. That's why we have the Simplified prep work in every single one, because we want you to like get your heart in that place where you're ready to proactively plan your year, not just let it happen to you, right? We can choose to let life happen to us, or we can step up and say, I'm going to be proactive about this. I'm going to stake my claim unapologetically on what it is that I want. I did that this summer. This summer, I was stressed out about my kids were going to be home, and I was excited about it, but I also have like a job, and I didn't know how to manage it all. And finally, I said, you know what? I'm just going to lean in. I'm going to lean in, and what is it that I want? I want to enjoy my summer with my kids, and I want to get my job done well. And so I told our team, we're going to do summer mode. Get your job done, get it done on time, but like enjoy your summer. And I just removed the pressure, and we flourished. And I had a great summer, and so did my kids, and so did our team. Give yourself permission to say what it is you want. Some things in life are not within your control. I totally get that. But when you stake your claim on it and you say, this is what I want, big things happen. So I would love for you to tell me here in the comments, what does the good life look like to you? Using some adjectives. What does the good life look like? Is it, and your answer does not have to be like everyone else's. Is it that the good life to you is traveling a lot, right? Traveling a lot and, seeing the world and that kind of thing. Is the good life to you family dinners at home 5 nights a week, 7 nights a week? What does it look like? Is the good life to you quiet? Is it quiet? Is the good life to you connecting with community and bringing people into your community and like loving on them and serving? Is that the good life? I would love to know what you think, and I will tell you my answer. The good life to me, hold. I wrote this. This is actually on a print. I was about to say it, and then I realized, wait, we made a print. This is, hold on, get my brightness down. This is from Grace Not Perfection. The good life is rich. No, the good life is sweet and slow and rich and flawed. Flawed. Okay? The good life is sweet and slow and rich and flawed. The good life isn't perfect, and I'm okay with that. And that means that I take the pressure off myself and I take it off my kids. And I take it off my husband, even though I really want him to be perfect sometimes. Put your laundry away, Brian Lay. Okay, so less stress. Good life for me is actually go for the things I want unapologetically. Yes, Rebecca, I love that. Alyssa says, organized, calm, time with family and friends. I love that. Ownership of my life. Yes, Ashley, that is good. The good life was meals at home filled with family and friends. Being home with my kids, with everyone getting along. Me too. If you figure out how to do that, please let me know. Because even with these things in place, people still fight and people still can't find their shoes. But we can put these things into place to bring order to the overwhelm at times. I promise you it makes a difference. Okay. Oh, I love this so much. Can we just stay here all day and talk about it? How is, and I want you to tell me here, how is this good life that you have defined, how is it different than your life right now? How is it different? What, are you living it right now? Be honest. Are you living it? I'm not 100%. Nope. This week has been nuts. It's been busy. The past couple weeks have been busy because we're back to school, but I feel like we're a lot closer than we ever were. Just because I've made some intentional decisions. So, okay, thank you for being so honest. I feel swamped. Yep, still struggling south of sorry, my watch is ringing. There's too much chaos. I love it. Not even close, not 100%. That's so okay. That's so okay. That is the beauty of a fresh start. Whether you are using one of these or not, you get to say, I'm starting over. I'm not going to live overwhelmed anymore. I am not going to let my life run me. I'm going to run my life as much as I humanly can, right? You get to claim that for yourself, and you get to be unapologetic about it, okay? Next, what are 3 action steps you can take now to move forward toward this life? That is something that's on here. I don't want you to answer that here because I'm going to ask you something different. I want to know one rhythm, and I'm doing this for the sake of like community, and so I can come back and read your comments later and get some ideas, but tell me one routine, one rhythm, one thing that's working for you in your life. This is also part of the Simplified prep work in the front of the Simplified planners. Establishing and saying like, this is what's working, right? This is what's not working, but tell me one thing that is working for you in terms of rhythm right now. For me, it's letting go of the idea that I should be waking up at the crack of dawn. And, I had some days where I was waking up at 5 a.m. and they were great, but man, I was tired. So now I'll wake up at 6 a.m. I have to wake up at 6 a.m. My kids get up at 7. Every live long day, they wake up at 7. I don't know why. I get up before them. That works, right? No social media in the morning. Yes. Getting up early to spend time in my Bible. I love that. Using Instacart for my groceries. Yes, you do you. I love that. Bills on auto pay is working. Daily laundry has changed my life. Yes. Getting up early and working out. Y'all have heard, if you've been on these lives this week, you've heard me tell you that working out every day has changed my life. It's made me a better, different version of Emily. Honestly. Getting up before my kids, meal planning, I love it. Budgeting ahead for expenses in the future, going to bed when I'm tired, even if things are not done. I love it. I love it. And if you don't have an answer, Shelly, that's okay. That's okay, because you get to start now, and all of these friends on this video are here to support you and share ideas. Okay? So now I want you to tell me one idea, maybe something you saw someone say, but I want to know one idea of one punctuation point you can put in your day or your week that you want to try toward. Just one. Okay? Start with one. Eventually, you won't have to keep telling yourself to do it. It'll just become habit. It'll just become part of life. And I want to know what one of those things might be. What is one going to be for me? One of them for me is going to be getting back to regular meal planning on Fridays. Summertime, we kind of let it slip a little bit. I mean, I was meal planning, but we would deviate off a lot. And so I think one of the things for me is meal planning, but I'm going to do it on Fridays so that I can go to the grocery store by myself. Okay. Let me find one more thing. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up with another Sally Clarkson quote. Because as I was looking for the quote I read you earlier, I found another one and I was like, yes, this is so good. One of the marks of a godly woman is that she takes responsibility for her soul's need for joy and delight. This is not Sally, this is me saying, you are not selfish for taking care of yourself. You are smart for taking care of yourself. A woman is a conductor who leads the orchestra of her surroundings in the songs and music of her life. God is a God of creativity and dimension, and so he is pleased when we co-create beauty in our own realm through the power of his Holy Spirit. It was a profound realization when I understood that I could become an artist with my very life. An artist. And I think what Sally means by that is that kind of what I'm saying, you can take control over it. You can design the pattern, the rhythm of your life. And if there are things that fill your soul, that make you happy, you can claim those. If candles make you happy, put some on your dinner table. They don't have to be fancy or expensive. Put some candles on your dinner table. Light them. Who says you can't light candles at dinner? Even if it's pizza, right? If you love the smell of clean laundry, do your laundry more. No, get one of those candles. Back to candles. If you love time with your husband, if you love time with him watching comedy movies, do that more. Infuse your life with more beauty and more things that make you happy. And I think you'll be surprised how much more empowered you feel to take these kinds of things on, right? You get to claim those. You get to do that. Okay, I wasn't going to ask this, but y'all are saying it. So share some things that make you happy. It can be anything random. Anything. I love acoustic country music. Love it. After I do my workouts, I try to do some stretching, and I'll always listen. There's like a Spotify channel, and I'll try to listen to that. I love going to concerts. We took our oldest to a concert, and it was so fun. Whit says I love time in my garden, so we went all in. I love it. Getting outside, getting sweaty, getting hot and sweaty. I love it. I think because a lot of times with my job, I feel like I have to be so put together. And so to me, to throw my hair up, take my makeup off, get hot and sweaty outside, it's a departure, and it just feels like fun. It feels like I'm connected to me. Organizing. Yeah, my husband will never understand that, but organizing the pantry, I love it. Reading fiction books for me. Love it. Love fiction books. Hot tea and yoga, coffee. My feet hit the floor in the mornings, and I walk straight into the kitchen to get coffee. I love it. I love to create. Don't you just feel more like you saying these things out loud? And that's what makes you you. And you get to claim those things. And you can infuse your life with that. You can, in big or small ways. I have a friend, Laura Casey, who you might know, and she used to always say about this topic, if you love the beach and you're in a cubicle all day long, put a picture of the beach as your screensaver, right? It's easy. It's free. It's just one way to infuse your life a little bit more with things that make you happy, right? And you get to be joyful. If you're joyful, your family, your people are going to be joyful too. All right, y'all, this was fun. We could talk about this forever. I would love to know what questions you have. If you have questions about this topic, or if you have questions about our upcoming Signature Simplified Planner launch. While my team sends me questions, I am going to just walk you through, in case you're new, the details of launch day, how it works, what we're launching, real quick, okay? So we are launching our 2020 Signature Simplified Planners. They come in 6 different cover options. These are the weeklies, and then we have daily editions as well. We have blue pinstripe. We have mint tile. We have garden party. We have happy stripe. We have navy blooms, and we have pink pineapple. And then we're also launching our Dapper Desk planners. That is sky blue and navy blue. And then our Happy Home Art prints, which I just showed y'all one of these, but hold on. Let me fix the brightness. I need like a remote to fix the brightness in here. I showed y'all that one a minute ago. Who says you have to be busy all the time? I love this one. It's from When Less Becomes More. Proverbs 31, she's clothed in strength and dignity and laughs without fear of the future. Pineapple Party. This is called Blue Blooms, and it was actually in the running to become a Simplified Planner cover, but we chose others and decided to use it here. And this is Pink Peonies, and it's actually pulled from Garden Party, but it's painted with a different type. Okie dokie. Let's see. Ooh, thanks, Dusty. Okay. Ooh, these are good questions. Stayed at home for 20 years raising my kids and now newly back to work. Not balancing getting the home stuff done well with working full time. Tips. So, did you say that you... Okay, for some reason I thought you said you were a teacher. My mom was a teacher, and she retired recently, but she taught for 38 years. And I've asked her often, like, Mom, how in the world did you do it? You had 2 kids at home and you worked outside of the house, and you know, how did you get all the things done? And she said, it takes work. Like, it takes sitting down and planning it out. Otherwise, life happens to you. You get home, you don't know what to eat, like that kind of thing. If you want a deeper dive into kind of the tactical side of simplifying overwhelming areas of life, you can kind of see it over here, but I have a book called A Simplified Life, and it's exactly that. It's super, super tactical. I also have in the front of the Signature Simplified Planners, there is the Simplicity Challenge. This is 30 steps or 30 tasks that each take 15 minutes or less to complete. And they're very tactical. And at the end of it, guarantee your life's going to feel simpler. They're just tactical things like dump your purse out, make it work for you. Walk your home with a trash bag, just pick up trash. These kinds of little tactical things will add up a lot. Okie dokie. Is there a rhythm page marker in the works? No, but what a fun idea. Can you talk about your time working at a university? True story. How did you find a rhythm of putting your work stress and responsibilities away long enough to build a strong at-home and personal life? Yes, so my phone's making noises. I have a master's degree in nonprofit management, and I worked, before I started doing this, I had some awesome jobs. I was executive director of the City Ballet here in Pensacola when I was 23 years old, which is nuts. A big job for a 23-year-old. And then I worked at a local hospice, managing events and doing fundraising. And then I moved on to Tampa after we got married and worked at the University of South Florida for their Women in Leadership and Philanthropy program. And I worked a lot. And I had to drive a long, pretty good distance in Tampa traffic to get there. We did not have kids yet, so I can't speak to that. But I can say, as a newlywed who was working a ton, I had to be very intentional about my time when I was not at work. I had to set boundaries. I had to walk away from my inbox and know that, you know, the world wouldn't burn down if I didn't, you know, if I waited until Monday to answer an email. You can set boundaries for yourself. And if you need to have discussions with people you work with about boundaries, I think that that's an important thing to do. So I hope that helps. Um, how do I maintain rhythm when we leave the house at 7:15 and then are gone all day until 6? We have 2 hours to eat, do homework, bathe, and have a bedtime routine, and that is not calm and not quiet, and it is completely wearing me out. Yeah, that's hard, and we've had days like that too. And I think that you have to eliminate the distractions and eliminate anything not necessary. So that means sitting down and writing down your inventory of what you're committed to. You know, are your kids enrolled in a whole bunch of extracurriculars? Do you have other things that are taking, requiring your attention that you might be able to say, not right now, not in this season, too. You can say no, and saying no is a game changer. So write down all those things that you're committed to and decide if there are things on there that might be optional. Sometimes we think things are not optional and they actually are optional. And then if not, or if you get it all pared down and you're still feeling overwhelmed, it's all about that rhythm. It's all about infusing your day with as much joy as you can and finding that cadence of getting all the things done and making all the things happen. By the way, my kids are 8, 4, and 4, and I have recently decided you're big enough to help. You are big enough to put your laundry away. You are big enough to make sure your water bottle ends up in the dishwasher. I don't have to do it for you. I'm assuming this is what happens as we parent. We learn that our kids can take on more and can help. And Caroline told me yesterday, you make me do a lot of work, Mom. And I said, well, you're part of the team. Mommy does a lot of work. Daddy does a lot of work. Your brothers do a lot of work. And you're part of the team. So we all got to work together, right? Okay. Favorite fiction book right now. I just read The Alice Network, and it's historical fiction, and it was wonderful. Would you recommend a planner for work and home, or one for both? I would recommend if this is a planner you're using for your day-to-day, you use one. Now, I will say, I said I would never do this, but I started using a planner, this particular one, just for meal planning, because meal planning is hard for me. I don't actually enjoy cooking, even though I really wish I did. I'm trying to find more delight in cooking dinner because I think mealtime is so important. So I'm choosing to delight and be glad in meal planning. Tomorrow we're going to talk about meal planning. And I have so many cool ideas that I've gotten from so many friends recently. So I use one just for meal planning. On the schedule side, I write what we're having, and on the to-do side, with like the little check boxes, I write the ingredients I need. Walk around my kitchen, figure out what I actually have, check it off, and then there's your grocery list. Okie dokie. Will the academic planners be on the site when the calendar year planners launch? Yes. What kind of camera do you have? I have a Canon EOS 80D. It's awesome. Dapper Desk versus Daily difference. The difference between Dapper Desk and the Daily Signature Simplified planners are the differences are this. The size is a little tiny bit different. They're about the same thickness. This one's a little thicker because this is one difference. It has a full day for Saturday and a full day for Sunday. Dapper Desk does not include the simplified prep work. The Daily Signature Simplified Planner does. Dapper Desk has all the months in the beginning, followed by all the days. The daily and the weekly have month spreads placed before the spread that includes the first of the month. So you're planning your month and then you see the first. That sometimes means that the 30th or the 31st will follow the monthly spread, but that's just the nature of how the calendar works. What else? They both come in boxes. They both get coaching for me every single month for the life of your planner in your inbox. I think that's it. Okay. When does When Less Become More come out? November 12th. It's so far away, but it's November 12th. And you can get it now. You can pre-order it now wherever books are sold. And Barnes & Noble has signed copies. And if you pre-order from Barnes & Noble, you get a free copy of A Simplified Life that'll ship like after When Less Becomes More ships. So all the links to that are in my Instagram profile. Okay. Is the Simplicity Challenge in both the daily and the weekly? Yes, it is in both the daily and the weekly. And it's honestly one of my favorite parts of the planner because it is a fail-proof way to just kickstart living simpler, right? Yay. Okay. Hannah just said we just posted a Dapper Desk walkthrough video on Facebook that shows all the details. True story. And it's a beautiful video. So go check it out. Okay, guys, I think we covered everything. How are we doing on time? We're doing good. I have a couple quick points I want to share with you about launch day before I hop off of this thing. Number one, join me at 2. I'm in Central Time Zone and we do everything Eastern Time Zone, so bear with me. Join me at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, right? And we're going to be doing an Instagram Live, just like Q&A type thing. If you have questions about like anything, join me. It's super casual, very fun. It lasts about 30 minutes. Also, go and take our quiz. It's a planner personality quiz, and it is eerily correct. We ask you about everything from how you like to write things to what your personal style is like to what color nail polish you prefer. And we will tell you which planner cover and then daily or weekly is best for you. And it's weirdly right. And I promise I'll do the winners in just a minute. Also, go and enter to win our launch day survival kit. You will win. Y'all, it's so cute. And you can click the link in here and go see what it is. It's a thin happy stripe tote bag, a fuchsia North Face pullover with our little pineapple on it, and then one of our bee hats, and then a whole bunch of other fun stuff. And it's happy stripe theme. It's very cute. We have a page where you can also go and see everything. So you can take the quiz from there. You can see reviews from people. You can watch videos, see all the details. Everything is there. So if you go in this caption to the link that says all the details, that's that link. Email. So today we are going to be emailing out the Good Life printable, and tomorrow we are going to be emailing out, we'll also send a video recording of this. Tomorrow we're sending out Team Simplified's. Every single one of us wrote down our favorite recipe for like easy, quick weeknight dinners, things that are like on repeat for us, right? And they're all different and they're all so fun. And I think I'm gonna meal plan today off of that printable. I did taco bowls, and it's like something we eat every week, and it's so fun. So go and make sure you're on our email list. If you got the Simplified post this morning, that means you're on it. We don't send a ton of emails, but during launch week, we'll send one every day so that you get the recordings and you get the printable, the freebie. Okay. So make sure you're on that. And then I just want to outline the rest of the Facebook Lives we're doing. So today's Sunday. The holiday weekend always throws me off. Monday, tomorrow, we're doing easy meal planning with your Simplified Planner. Tuesday, we're going to do the ultimate Simplified Planner pen test number 3. I need to practice my camera setup today for that because y'all aren't going to be looking at my face. You're going to watch me write things. And then on Wednesday, September 4th, around 9:45, before 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I'm basically going to turn all the cameras on, and you just get to watch us freak out in here while we get ready for launch. My kids, sweet teachers, who I think I've seen some of them on this live, they are so sweet and gave us permission to keep them home for like an extra hour or two so they could be part of it. And they are so excited. They have t-shirts and everything. And so we're really excited. That's Wednesday. All right, guys. I think that's it. Thank you for joining me today. This is a really, really, really fun live to do. And why is the pen test so satisfying to watch? I don't know. It's one of the most watched Facebook Lives we've ever done. And the tote bag's not for sale. No. Will I be able to access the meal planning Facebook Live later? Yes. So if you work tomorrow or you're going to miss the live, we're going to email it out to you. So it'll be in our video library on our website, but we'll email it out tomorrow afternoon, okay? All right, y'all. Yes, I'll share the recipe for taco bowls. We're emailing it out tomorrow. So get on that email list. Okay, y'all have a great day and happy Labor Day.